people come from, I almost want to say everywhere, but certainly we have people from so many places. We have, certainly we have a lot of people from North America, which is where I'm from. I'm from Canada. There are people from the Latin Americas. There are people from Europe, all over Europe. We have some people from Hong Kong, from the Philippines. I guess I could just go on and keep naming, but I think I want to get that across. That's one level of community, this international group of people coming together. The other layer of community is the way in which we do these community arts activities, and for example, this excursion activity that we're on right now, where we engage in making something or in entering into an experience, and we may be we're not necessarily with people that we've spent a lot of time with, but we get to know people as we go along through these experiences. And that happens in a rhythmic kind of way here, because the program has a rhythm to it, so that there will be at least 3 excursions while you're here where you engage with community that way, and there will certainly be maybe 4 or 5 opportunities at least for this community art engagement that involves absolutely everybody working toward a kind of a final piece that we do together, and we do that within a couple of hours.
Well, living in Kenya, I was miles away from even imagining a school that could be appropriate for me and the work I do. I live in a very rural place in the north of Kenya, in a desert transit town. I started to teach myself from books I was collecting. Books on art therapy seemed irrelevant. It seemed like these Western philosophies, Eurocentric models of psychoanalysis just wasn't relevant for the community of children and women that I was working for. So I started to explore other books, and I think I picked up a couple of books by Sean McNiff, Ellen Levine, Trauma and the Time of Political Violence. And as I was reading, I heard the mention of this school, European Graduate School, and I read about these writers and these authors to find out more, and they all mentioned this school. And as I started to imagine what this place is, I remembered John Cage, who went to the Black Mountain College in the States, and I imagined this alternative place of learning that could somehow accommodate and have space for what I wanted to not only imagine, but turn that imagination into a reality. The learning here allows you to include your life and your work in it. You don't have to, it doesn't lie outside of your work. It lies somehow integrated into what you're already doing, and I think that's why it works for me, because I already had a sense of what it is I wanted to do, and this school allows me to put that sense into practice. In a way, it's like a calling. If you have something, if your life responds to a calling, some kind of, you have a sense of vocation or heart value, then this is a place that will allow you to nourish that and be able to go back and do what it is you're supposed to be doing.
You can find a strong frame that can collect all the different ways to think, all the different ways to feel, all the different projects that you want or like to start through the arts. Actually, now it's an interesting moment to bring an interview, because everybody is saying goodbye, and it's amazing how you can feel that in 21 days you got a new family, and after my portfolio presentation, some person give me a strong feedback that it will be always on my mind, is that when you share your soul with others, it's easy to go to have a strong relationship and to have a family. And after that, now I feel that I definitely choose a lot of these persons to be part of my family.
And there's something about being in this intensive environment that makes it feel more permanent, I would say. Like it feels like it's kind of in my bones in a different way. With the residential experience, it's a little bit like you can't escape. Like it's right here in the midst of it all. And yeah, my relationships with my family and my friends feel as well. I feel like more present, like I've developed a deeper sense of presence with them because of being here has kind of raised the standard of my relationships. We're pioneers in a way. You know, it's not a field that's been around for hundreds of years and that's really established, and we're joining a long line of expressive arts therapists. We have a lot of power, I think, as new graduates and current students to shape the field as it moves along, to give it new forms and new arcs of research, things that haven't occurred yet. So people who are courageous enough to jump into a field that's really just forming, but if they feel it in their hearts, like a connection to the arts in a deep way and a belief in the arts' healing capacity, jump, do it. Yeah.
2.5 years ago, started researching on the internet to see if I could put together a master's program that I thought I would have to be creating from scratch. I found UGS on the IATA website, and I also found an institute in Florida. I live in Miami. As I've become immersed in the expressive arts and the principles of expressive art, which I think really are present in all of us if an individual's present, it's just really become something that I want to dedicate my life to, live with my life. I feel that I have had a rejuvenation in being able to look at the world, be present with the world in amazement and awe.
It's about being drawn into something that you are curious about. You might have encountered this in many different points, and then you get a chance to experience the beauty of the different perspectives and the nuances that I have not been offered anywhere else, and a way of understanding the beauty and the richness of the meaning with the art itself. And what is this force that wants me to go to the image, to the picture? What is this force that somehow tells me, oh, I like this image and I like this image, but this is not so interesting to me? What is this pull that pulls me towards this image? And this movement is what gives me inspiration to do work, inspiration and sense of purpose to live my life, to get up in the morning, to be present in my own life in a fuller way. And that's the greatest gift that EGS has given me.
I actually can't think of another education opportunity that offers these various different contrasts: lectures, theory, arts engagement, and then this really unique element of community art where people come together in community, various different years that are studying the master's program, the PhD program, conflict transformation and peace building program, all the various programs that are here, and we come together in community and we engage in these art making experiences. And we do the same when we go out on these excursions. So yeah, right now we're an entire community here. We'll come back. And here's the sound. We're being called back. So that's the sound to return home, to return back to the central area where we're, wow, everyone's starting to come, where we're going to meet and we're going to have our lunch together. And that'll probably be quite lively because we've actually spent the last couple of hours being very, very quiet, really noticing phenomenologically what's around us, which is part of the way that we work. So that way of working is taught in all different ways, the theory, the practice, and then actually coming out here and just spending time noticing and naming things in nature. Yeah, so I wish that sound would come again. I wish you'd do it again.